Bruh, Free Guy's so good. Free Guy is so good. Like, take Grand Theft Auto, virtual reality, muse it together with AI intelligence. Nerds out there are gonna love it. But Free Guy is basically, it follows this NPC character played by Ryan Reynolds. His name is Guy. He's just an NPC, you know? Just like does his everyday routine, goes to work, gets robbed, goes to bed, goes to work, gets robbed, goes to bed, you know? But everything kind of changes when he kind of gets tired of that, and he meets this mystery woman that he just really wants to be with for some reason. And it just awakens something inside of him. And you know, Free Guy, honestly, it was rated pretty well by audiences and critics, which in this day and age is hard to see. So it's good to know. So the first thing that I could really say that really stands out of it is how the story building that it has. It's kind of ridiculous, like the scenery. Like it's like literally this video game is like, you know, Grand Theft Auto, you know how it is. Just like, oh, crime sprees and like everyone acts like nothing is happening. The NPCs are just acting like just like walking around doing nothing. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm robbed. Okay, let's continue. But I really think it was a very unique environment that they created in the real world and the outside world, meshing it together. Now, of course, I love Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is a great actor, and almost every role that he plays is just stupendous. But this one really like knocked it out of the park. Like he was like perfect for this character. But honestly, continuing with the characters, I really think the entire cast of characters is good. There's not a bad character in this like film. The villain, even who's cringy, it makes it work. And I think that's very interesting because usually, oh, there's over-the-top villains that are like trying too hard. It's like, just like get rid of them. But no, I really think it fits well for this plot arc, especially considering what he did. And then the two real-life people, Millie and Keys, just like, they really fit the holes that the story would have without them, honestly. Like, you could have made this a story just about like artificial intelligence and like, oh, how it develops. And that could be an intriguing topic to do in the future for other types of movies. But when you wanted to incorporate it with real life, these two characters really just they give the foundation for it to be a great movie. Now, there's a thing that it just bothers me with these types of movies. The virtue signaling is real. It's like they're not confident that they have a good enough movie to appease the critics, so they throw a couple virtue signals in the movie to make sure that the critics bump up the score. Because unfortunately in this world of critics, all you have to do is say a couple platitudes and like a couple virtue signals, and the critics will be like, oh my gosh, breathtaking, stupendous. Yeah, but it's what it is. I think it's some of them were funny, I'm not gonna lie. Some of them were really funny, which I really appreciated, but some of them were just like so obvious, like so obviously just stopping the plot of the movie just to say a virtue signal, which lowers the score, honestly, because you're having a flow pot, you're doing really well. You don't want to stop momentum for an irrelevant point. Like, I get it if you want to make a good joke, like they did make good jokes that were virtue signaling, but some of them were just like doing it just to get a word in, which is really stupid. But beyond that, I really liked how they incorporated the animation or the texture of the world. But no, overall, like, even with like the stops and flow of the movie, it just flows very well and it's just very good, and just like it has to be given like an 8 out of 10. Like, obviously there are a couple points where I just feel like they could have pushed it a little bit more. Like, there's a couple characters they could have developed more, like, Mosier, and like even Buddy they could have developed him a little bit more. But that's like nitpicking stuff. Like 8 out of 10 is very solid. So I'll see you in the next one.